Alright guys, welcome back. I want to talk a little bit about injective protocol today. As I mentioned on Discord, I'm going to do it in my own way. Okay, so I'm not going to go by the books or whatnot and this and that. Try and avoid all the fascinating details and BS that comes with all the bullshit. Just going to do it in my word, and I'm going to try and keep it as simple as possible, right? So I'll try and give you a brief description of what injective is, what it's built on, you know, how it works a little bit, and what the economics are, right? Let's just say tokenomics, right? So start off with this. First of all, I'm not a financial advisor, so please, none of this is financial advice. Whatever I say here, mostly for entertainment and of course for just helping others, like people who ask questions. I'm just answering those questions. These are purely my opinions, nothing professional, nothing financial. So injective protocol is a blockchain. That's a good thing. It's a blockchain, right? I think it has 100 million coins or a billion. I can't remember, but it's to do with one anyway. I think it's 100 million coins. So I'm just going off the top of my head, guys. Remember, this is not scripted. I'm not looking at anything right now. Nothing on my screen. Nothing anywhere. So I think it's 100 million coins. If I am correct, I think 83% or 84% of all of the coins that are in existence have already been distributed, right? So that's a good thing. I mean, you have majority of the coins already distributed. Now, how much of that are in institutional hands and how much of that are in retail investors' hands, I can't really give you that data because I don't have the computer here right now. I'm driving, so this is what's going on. Also, there's another segment I'll add on at the end, so I just want to drop this in as well. There's a segment I'll add on at the end, which was actually recorded last night, but I forgot to. Well, I didn't forget to. I recorded it. It was about 7 p.m. last night, and today the time is 4:36 p.m. So it's almost 24 hours. But I recorded it. I didn't bother uploading it to YouTube. I was meaning to, and then I got distracted. Something more important. I had a friend visit me, and we just spent a few hours just talking about life and whatnot, and about future progression, business investments and whatnot. So kind of got distracted a little bit, and then it was like, oh, it's too late. It's too late. And I didn't really bother also because on Discord I did post something, a screenshot on Discord, somewhere like, I don't know, 1 to 2 a.m, 3 a.m, 4 a.m. I can't remember what it was, but something stupid. I literally was sitting there, kind of dozed off, and I was like, oh, let's see this. Sent the screenshot, and I went to bed. So I can't even remember what time it was, but I did send that there. Anyway, leave that aside. So injective, let's talk about injective. So injective is a blockchain built using the cosmosm, right? It's a funny way of saying it, but that's what it is. It's based on that. Pretty fascinating blockchain. It is very fast. I mean, anything Cosmos, when they use the Cosmos SDK or the Cosmos ecosystem, they're unique blockchains, right? Very unique, even though they're using Cosmos, which is fantastic. So they did that, they launched it, 83% or 84% of it is already distributed, so that's really good. When I look at projects with a Web3 type of a project, right, and this is more of a Web3 scaling solution, kind of, but not entirely, because it is independent to itself. What I like to see is how many people are holding it, right, or how many of the coins has been distributed. So when I start seeing a total supply, 100 million or billion, I think it's 100 billion, that's, irrelevant, doesn't matter, 100 million or 100 billion or 100 trillion, it doesn't matter. That's the maximum supply. What I want to know, is there a max? Yes, there is a max. So it's not infinite. Okay, great, that's a good thing, right? And then I want to see how many people are holding it, right? So if people are now holding significant amount of this coin, then that's good. It means there's trust in it, there's belief in it, right? Because you don't hold something you don't trust. But obviously then I would disagree if only 10 people are holding all of the supply. I'll be like, okay, right, I don't want to be on it. But injective is very big, so I'm not really concerned about that, right? I don't even need to look at the facts to see how many people are holding it. I do believe people are holding it. I am personally holding it. So that's injective. Now, they have some good, one of the things that they have is like a modular system. So for developers who want to develop exchanges, interoperable exchanges, injective just nails it, right? They've just simplified it so much where you can actually have a closer to a centralized exchange, but in a very decentralized way, because they've created modules. And because of the whole blockchain, the design, the way they've done it for their devs is, you want to build projects, you want to build a exchange, just use the modules that we have. So they've done all the work for you. All you've got to do is connect it, brand it, and basically deploy it. And have your own coin if you want as well. Do whatever you want. So it is a blockchain, right? You can build your own smart contracts and do whatever you want to do. That's a good thing. Now, they have launched something, and this is back in 2021 or something, I can't remember. There was this Medium post where they talked about the injective fee burn mechanism, right? So what they're talking about is that any coins that you kind of have on injective, right? So you're using with injective, let's put it this way, right? So for example, you want to convert 10 Ethereum for whatever injective, right? Fair play. So you convert that, but of course there's some fees associated with that, right? And I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. So injective gets to collect some fees because you're using the blockchain, so you get some fees, right? Every blockchain does that, you pay some fees. But what they do is then they will burn 60% of those fees in order to reduce or make the coins deflationary. So first of all, it has a max cap, which is great. Then they want to deflate it, which is brilliant, right? So that's what happens. That's good. I am still a bit confused on, like, there are some parts where, for example, if you use injective protocol to buy, sell, trade, then there's no fees, right? So I'm guessing all the fees are coming from external blockchains, not from themselves, because if you have zero fees, then how do you burn fees, right? So that's a little bit of a confusing thing. I know they haven't clarified that properly, but that's the case, right? Injective, you can use it for zero fees. So, and I'm guessing that whatever modules that they provide, it's all built into this. So anyway, not too concerned about that. Not too concerned about that at all. As long as it's deflationary, as long as, like, sometimes we've got to just not go too deep into what someone says, right? Because ultimately we're all humans and we all have our own ways of saying certain things. That's why when I'm speaking to you right now, I'm talking in my own way. So I'm kind of interpreting this, narrating this in my own personal way, and trying to I'm hoping you understand, right? I'm trying to make you understand. So that's injective, how the burn works, right? Now with the burn, it doesn't automatically burn. That's another problem, right? So no problem, it's just also, so it's quite fascinating as well, right? So what you have to do is, in order for you to go and burn, you have to go to a particular website and you can bid, auction, right? So it's an auction and you can bid, and you don't lose anything when you bid. So it only depends on how many injectives you have. So if you have XYZ amount of injective, you go and you bid. Now, just to kind of sum it up, right? And I think that's the most easiest thing I could do, because explaining it is quite hard, right? How it works and everything, it's a proper deep thing, right? Too complicated in my opinion, because they haven't really streamlined it to make it simple. Very simple. It's a blockchain. It does this, it does that. We're gonna burn because of this and that. Very simple. But it's kind of complicated because you have zero fees, but then you burn the fees. Sorry guys, come on, don't stop confusing us, right? Let's talk about what we're really talking about. So there's this diagram where on the diagram they talk about how, say for example, you had 50% Ethereum and you had 50% injective, right? And if someone goes in and, there's going to be a certain amount of fees associated with that, and you go in and you say, you put an auction in, you go and bid in the auction, you have XYZ amount of injective, you can actually arbitrage, and say you sold $95 worth, for example, you can then bid for $100 and make $100 out of this, right? Something stupid like that. Makes sense, okay, when you use it, it makes sense, but if you don't use it, it totally doesn't make sense. Like, as you can hear me, I'm trying to explain to you, it just doesn't make any sense, right? It's so stupid, but that's what it is. But I see what they're trying to do, right? It's utility. It's actually token utility. So what they're trying to do is make this utility, right? Use injective, zero fees, right? You bid with injection, make $5 more. That's arbitrage. You can do that with injective. the funny thing is which other blockchain does that? No other blockchain. No other blockchain rewards you for using. So they're saying, look, we're going to give you this reward, right? Less this, but you're going to get it back. You can always make more money with injective. So it's all about using injective. And I've noticed that the whole ecosystem is designed to incentivize users to use injective. Nobody else does that. Ethereum doesn't do that. Ethereum doesn't reward you. Ethereum will shaft you every 2 seconds it gets with fees, right? You could be selling $5 and pay $500 as fees, So when push comes to shove, and you really need to use something, right now, you can't wait for fees to go down. You just need it to use it right now. Ethereum doesn't work, right? BTC does work, but then if BTC has too many, it gets congested. So, it still works. Your transaction will go through, but it's just not going to be instant. Of course, you want to make it instant, you can jump onto Lightning and get it done instantly, which is fine, and the fees are next to nothing anyway. So that's one solution, right? But who wants to use their Bitcoin to, buy something or whatever, right? Yeah, I don't. Do you know what I mean? I don't. So, of course, ultimately, yes, for microtransactions, BTC also has a solution. But is it the best solution? Is it the solution we want? Do we really want to let go of any BTCs you hold? Are you really that freaking desperate? You bought a BTC and you want to now sell it, or you want to send it over to someone else? Are you mad? So that's what I say anyway. And Ethereum, as I said, has situations of its own anyway. But I do like Ethereum's burn mechanism a little bit more because it's far more simple, and it's not confusing, right? It's not confusing. But yeah, I mean, injective is okay. The burn is basically, it's all to do with an auction. So you go in, you can do the auction, and whoever's participating in the auction can make a little bit of money. So if you got $1,000, $10,000, I don't know, $50,000, $100,000, and you've got it in injective, you can go and bid for these auctions and hope you're lucky, and you can make a nice little difference there, right? You can make a nice little percentage there. So that's what it is, but the percentage is going to be made back in injective, right? So remember that. So yes, it's all good. However, remember, that's not the only way for you to earn money from injective. In fact, you can actually go and stake, because they do have a staking contract, so you can go and stake them. In fact, put it this way, right? When you look at Cosmos and when you look at injective, don't forget that the mechanics is identical to Ethereum. The mechanics is identical to Ethereum, right? They're just another copy-paste blockchain, right? Yes, they did it right. They did it right because of the fee structure and all whatnot, this and that. Ethereum messed up. They're trying to fix it now, which is okay. At least they're trying to get it back to normal. But I don't blame them that they made it wrong. Listen, when Ethereum came out, there was no other blockchain like it. So it was the wild, wild west, right? And the fee mechanism, fee going up and whatnot, that had nothing to do with Ethereum. That had to do with the actual validators, right? People who were able to manipulate and do certain things. Hence why S2.0 is a solution. Hence why the new reward system is based on the staking reward, and you only get a kind of, not exactly fixed, but pretty much fixed kind of a thing. Even then, some people have figured out how to, charge more for it. So Ethereum is fully aware, right, that the fees is what's kind of been killing them. Now, a project like Injective, I believe, can do a lot better in a slightly different market. In this market, because of all the hype and all the crazy projects that are coming out, all the copy-paste projects that come out, it is difficult for projects to shine. I mean, Injective, in my opinion, 84% out there, 100 million coins, which is absolutely nothing. Shouldn't be sitting at, I think today it was like $16, shouldn't be sitting at $16. In my opinion, it should be somewhere around the region of about $160. If not more. But it is what it is, right? What can we do? Because the market has been diluted, right? Absolutely destroyed with thousands and thousands and thousands of shitcoins, right? So the money, let's just put it this way. You can have a million coins, a billion coins out there. It doesn't make much of a difference. The money that the people have invested into these coins doesn't change. It only changes when new players come to the market, right? So think about it this way. If we have currently a 1.3 something trillion dollars, let's just say 1.4 trillion dollars invested in crypto, well, that's it. There's 1.4 trillion invested in crypto. Now it can show up as more in valuation when we buy, sell, do whatever more, but the point is we're really not getting any more money coming in. Yes, some people may be topping up a few hundred, few thousand, whatever, right? Some of the whales may be playing around with a couple of 100,000 to a couple of mil, right? But no one's really bringing new money to the table. That's one of the reasons why I feel that, you know, the market is diluted, because of all the diversions that we're getting. Because every other project comes out and promises something, right? There are new projects right now, even now as we talk. There's a project which makes making blockchains easy, so that's a diversion. There's a project which says making cryptocurrency is going to be easier, right? That's a diversion. There's a project that talks about making gaming project, like, you know, when we're looking at GameFi, right? They're going to make it very easy. So point is there was a time when the big issue in the industry was Bitcoin, the blockchain is too slow, it gets congested, it's this, it's that, and people started building on solutions that would make it faster, right? You know, let's compete with Visa, let's compete with this, let's compete with that. That's what the story was back then. You know, of course, then we had other issues, as in when the Ethereum fees started to go ballistic. Then the situation was not how to make a blockchain that has cheaper fees, right? So you can see how each time something becomes a big issue, a lot of projects start coming out with a solution to resolve that problem. Does that make sense, right? So that's what it is. It's like when something is identified as a problem in one of the bigger boys, then all of a sudden you get so many shrimps just hatch from nowhere and decide to launch their own projects and, you know, divert the market. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some projects that do launch with a genuine intent and massive investments to actually resolve that problem, right? But the problem you have there is retail never get the first dibs, right? It's always in institutions and VCs and whatnot, right? So they've already got the first dibs. So then that means that we are just, you know, a bunch of sheeps, right? There are very few projects that I know of who actually did fair launches. Very few, to be honest. Majority of the projects, as far as I know, you know, they've already had a pre-sale or whatnot and this and that. So that's the situation. Anyway, I don't want to go too deep into this. Listen, each to their own. I'm not complaining. I mean, if I had a project, and I'm not talking about anything right now, but just saying, if I had a project, I would love to see all of it. I would love to see a fair launch. I would love to see a pre-sale. I would love to see, you know, ventures and whatnot. Who wouldn't, right? So each to their own. You know, I'm not dissing anybody for those reasons, but I'm just saying how the market is getting diverted. Not too many people are sitting there saying, well, hold on, you know, and these are thousands of developers, and I'm talking about developers right now, right? I'm saying, you know, you've got Bitcoin. It has 1,000 problems. Well, why don't you just solve those problems? It's successful. It's proven itself. It's battle tested, right? It's here right now. Why don't you just put your effort and energy to fix that? They won't do that. You've got Ethereum's got its problems. Why don't you go into that? Solve that problem? No. Okay. So the new solution. I mean, back in the days when Ethereum was growing and during the ICO hypes and this and that, everyone started building their tokens to do whatever. Fine, tokens. That was one blockchain doing tokens, and now you've got thousands and thousands and thousands of blockchains because everyone's learned how to copy paste, launching thousands and thousands and thousands more coins. So you see the way it's been multiplying is a lot faster than before. But again, the problem I see is, where's the new money? there isn't the new money. It's old people still playing the game, right? I mean, I can tell you this, right? This is quite funny. I can tell you this, right? In the last 5-6 years, all right, I've spoken to hundreds, if not thousands of people, right? Individually and via groups and whatnot, this and that, right? And this is ridiculous. You're gonna hear this, you're gonna be shocked, right? Out of 100 people, out of the 5 years, right? Let's just say out of 100 people, in the last 5 years, I know 10 people, right, that have actually bought crypto. Out of those 10 people, few, 2, 3, 4, bought immediately 5 years ago. Once they understood it and this and that, they bought it immediately. They bought something, not everything, something immediately. But here's the best part. Out of those, small group, like 10 people, few have actually bought now. They've actually bought now. So it took them 5 years to sit back and observe, to make a decision, and bought now. And even when they bought now, they bought very little, right? They bought very little, very small amounts. The highest, I remember one person, they bought 1 Bitcoin. They bought 1 Bitcoin and they just sat on it, right? Which is brilliant, right? But they bought 1 Bitcoin and said, look, I'm just going to buy 1 Bitcoin, boom, and I don't want to know about it anymore, right? So that's it. The guy doesn't give a damn about any other coins or anything. He's, he just heard a thing, he sat there and he said, right, I'm going to wait for it, and he waited for it. It took him 5 years to make a decision. 5 years down the line, he bought himself 1 Bitcoin and he said, that's it. No one's gone back to him to convince him or anything. He's heard, he's went to a group, he saw the presentation, not even a presentation, just me talking, people asking questions and I was just talking, right? He asked me a whole bunch of questions, but it took him 5 years to make that one decision to buy. He didn't buy at the bottom, he just bought, right? So I think he bought at £20,000. So the point is, it took him 5 years to make that one decision. Now probably he didn't have the money or whatever, but I think he does because he is pretty wealthy. But the point is, he just bought one. So that's one. Where's the new money, right? So the argument here is as much as we would love to see brand new projects coming in and changing the world, we also need new money. And new money can't enter with all these new projects coming out, because they are now becoming more and more unsure of what to do. So for me, what I've done is recently, and I think even in the past I've done it before as well. Yes, there was a time when I used to love altcoins, right? I used to love altcoins to go pump and dump as much as I could. But I've realized that myself got burnt, but not too bad. But other people have got burnt a lot as well, because they're hopeful. And so I had to change my strategy, and I was like, okay, hold on. Me being me, I can handle a small loss here, a massive gain there, and then I can rebalance, right? It's all about rebalancing. If you can't rebalance, you can't do it. And it's all about this trader mentality, right? Actual trading mentality, which is, when you make a trade, you've made a decision, you know when to stop out and you know when to take profits, right? A lot of people don't have that. People are waiting for this thing to move. People are waiting for something, oh, let's buy this for like 10 cents, 20 cents, and we're going to go to $2, $3, and we're going to do 100x on it. That's what they're hoping for. But the truth is that may never happen, right? So that's risky. So I've kind of diverted, and I said to everybody, I said, guys, look, and even if I'm doing alts, I'm still not telling everybody. Why? Because that's the bad advice. I don't want to give you that advice. I want you to understand that there are top coins out there, top 10 coins, top 20 coins out there. Top 20 is a bit more risky because there are a lot of competition out there, but top 10 is a very good number to stick around. So top 10, pick up anything on the top 10, make your mind up for 5 years. Doesn't matter when you do it today, you do it in 5 years time, or you do it tomorrow, a year later, doesn't matter. But always intend to hold it for 5 years. And then if you get a market rally, and your investment goes up by 10, 15, 20, 100%, 200%, 1000%, who cares, right? you have a rally, you can see the entire market rallying. Cash out. Simple. Cash out. Rinse, repeat, right? So what you do, you cash out, and then you wait for the market to come back down. When the market comes back down, you use all of the funds that you have, take away your initial, take some profit, go and treat yourself, go and have a big holiday, go for a world cruise on some cruise liner, whatever. And then the remaining funds that you have after you had your fund, put it back in. And then do the same thing again. So it's not necessary you have to stick it to the end of 5 years. But your intent should be 5 years. And then it could happen within 6 months, maybe a year. Bob's your uncle, right? So that's what it is. Because you'll get so many experts coming out during a pump cycle, hype cycle, market rally. Experts come out, oh, it's a bull market, you invest it in this, you're going to make money, you invest in this, you're going to make money, oh, I'm dumping this, you're going to make money, you know, this coin's going to pop, that coin's going to pop. And I'm like, whatever coin you think is going to pump, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. Just because you think that's going to pump out of 1 million coins doesn't necessarily mean it is going to pump. And it's not the only coin that's going to pump. The other day there was a brother, he mentioned something, I think it was a Discord or YouTube, Discord or WhatsApp, I can't remember. He sent me a message and he said something about a particular coin, and he said, this looks like a stronger horse than the other two. There was another two, and he said, I'm planning to dump, Near. He was planning to dump Near and Solana, I believe, or something like this. He said, oh, if I dump those, and if I buy this looks like a stronger horse. So my reply to him was, right off the top of my head, because I remember I just wrote it instantly, something, it was like a quote. So my reply to him was, in a horse race, when the horses leave the start line, every single horse goes to the finish line. The only difference that you see is who comes first and who comes last, right? So the numbers, when do they finish? That's the only difference. But when the race starts, everything moves. Does that make sense? So when the crypto sphere, when we have a parabola, when we have a rally going to the upside, right? Do you think anything's going to hold back? So ultimately, it doesn't matter what you pick, every shit coin out there is going to pump. Every shit coin is going to pump. There's going to be nothing with constipation. There's going to be fucking diarrhea. That's what's going to be. Shit coins are going to diarrhea on everybody. Everyone's going to make money. But that's fine. But when do you exit? That's the part that's not fine, because you're going to make money. Are you going to exit? Because if you're not exiting, what's the point you making money? You know, what's the point you picking a coin, picking your social media friend's coin, picking whatever coin I say? What's the point? That's why I choose not to tell you what coins I want. You want to pick a coin? Ethereum. You want to pick a coin? Bitcoin. You know, depending on how much money you got, no problem. Pick one of the top 10s. That's it. There are coins there with a few pennies. You can buy for a few pennies. That's, you know, so all budgets are covered within the top 10. We're not talking about thousands of dollars for a coin like Bitcoin. We're not talking about hundreds of dollars, you know, like Ethereum. We're not talking about, you can buy coins for a few cents, few pennies. So all budgets are covered. Doesn't matter what you pick. When it pumps, everything pumps. So, anyway, listen, I can go on forever. What I'll do now is, the time now is 5:04. I'm almost at my destination. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to stop the video here, and I'm kind of being mean on my next video. So that video I shot last night around 7 p.m. I'm going to put that video in here, and just watch it. Yes, I'm going to be a little bit mean, but there's reasons for it, because you know, I'm annoyed, right? I don't have any financial advice, but there are things I will say there. If it makes sense to you, it makes sense to you. If it doesn't, great. Can't help you. But if you do watch it, or if you have watched it to the end, please do hit that like button, right? If I'm getting 50 views, I'd like to see 50 likes. Share it with one other if you can, so we can grow the community. And put something in the comment that I've mentioned here. you know, on this particular video. Put something in the comment so I know that you've watched the video. Because the thing is, YouTube algorithm is going to show me an average of someone clicking in for a second and clicking out, right? And what happens is someone's watched the video for 30 minutes and some idiots come and watched it for a second, right, and left. YouTube now says your average is 15 minutes, right? And the average keeps on dropping the more stupid people come and do this. Now, I know a lot of people don't want to watch this channel because I'm not giving them what they want to hear. None of you are getting what you want to hear. So that is a problem, right? I can't help you. But try and understand, listen carefully and see what I'm talking about. Hopefully that helps. And then I can bring other stuff as well. But let's move on to the next segment. I'm going to lock out from this one. And so I'm really wondering how many of the influencer bulls are actually sitting there trying to find out what the new script is going to be. Because we had so many bulls, right? So many experts. Everybody's bullish. Everybody's pumping their favorite coins, whatever they could, right? They just show non-stop, right? You know, yes, we're going to 150k, we're going to 130k right now. I wonder where they are right now. I wonder exactly where they are right now. Because during that hype cycle, while it was pumping, I said, guys, enjoy the pump. Enjoy the pump. It's moving too fast. Expect a correction. Now, did I get it right? No, I got it wrong too. Because I boldly gave you a date saying that possibly around the 18th, 19th, according to the RSI maths that I did, right? There was an average that I did. I said, according to that, it tells me that possibly 10, 12 days before the end of the month, we should see a significant dump. And it's not a bad dump, right? Provided we stay above a certain level. Now, of course, I've given a lot of these details on Discord. And, you know, most of the people should know, even this morning I gave I sent out a picture, I think it was like 4 a.m. or something like that, or 3 a.m, I can't remember. I sent out a picture and I said, guys, we need to hold 35,500 approximately. If we don't, then it's going to be bad news for us, right? And hopefully we can hold, like there's a higher probability we might hold 36. Now at 36 we did try and hold, but as panic sets in, as liquidation sets in, of course the market's going to go down because too many idiots are in this game right now. Too many idiots, too many sheeps and idiots, right? Too many people fall for the trap. They don't realize when everything is hyping, that's not when you get excited. In fact, the right time to get excited is now. So last couple of weeks, or probably longer, right? I've had so many brothers, right, who have my personal number on, you know, even on Discord, right? Some of the guys on Discord, right? Discord, WhatsApp, Telegram, private messages. Bro, can you do an analysis on this? Bro, can you do this? Bro, can you do that? Bro, can you do this? And I've just been kind of trying to blank or ignore as many of them as I could, because I understand that they are emotionally driven. These people, these individuals are emotionally driven, meaning that because the market is pumping and they're excited, they think that, okay, it's right time to buy this, right time to buy that. And I said as well, I said, look guys, if you do buy, just be careful that you don't be a bag holder. I think it was the last video, the video before, I mentioned this. So I hope nobody did. I hope everybody took some profits out. But if you want to be excited and you want to buy some altcoins or whatever shit coins you want to buy, anything you have on your bucket list, do it now. Do it now. By the way, the audio is going to be a bit stupid, and the video quality is going to be stupid because it is nighttime. It's 7:51 p.m. here in the UK, and I'm driving. So as usual, I'm just driving. Right? Can't be bothered to sit down and do it in a good light. But if I do, then I'll add it on or whatever. But that's the situation that I'm seeing. All right, the situation that I'm seeing is that everybody, you know, became so bullish, so over bullish, that they just forgot to stop and, like, you know, sometimes you just got to stop and just take a breath and say, well, hold on, let me just relax for a second. Whatever I'm seeing, does it make sense? Whatever I'm seeing, if it does make sense, then is it time for me to just step back and, you know, let the market breathe a little bit, because that's what I was expecting. The market needs to breathe because market did what it needs to do, right? But at the same time, it has to kind of relax a little bit. Once it relaxes, then we move forward, right? So I just feel sorry for all the expert bulls out there who have been kind of pumping the market even further. Guys, remember, anybody who's trying to pump everything for you, or any shit coins or whatever, there is some level of self-motivation. That's what I'm going to say, right? There is absolute... Adios.